biggest challenge is always everybody's internet connection. Really, this is a lot of bandwidth. I have two daughters, including a teenage daughter and a wife, and I was like, no bandwidth usage from 10 to on Saturday, and it was like a fight. Well, can I FaceTime? No. Well, can I watch Disney Plus? No.
No.
You know?
Go down the street. Go have a picnic all day. Get out of the house.
Yeah. Yeah, I seriously debated changing the router password this morning, and I was like, that would be a hassle to undo, so we'll just open it.
That's funny. Yeah, I was talking to a friend of mine. I was telling him I was going to play this. I was like, I think he has spots open. You know, I can see if he can work you in. And he's like, so it's chainmail on a sand table with written orders. I was like, yeah. He's like, that's too old school. I was like, but it's like archaeology, right? It's like going to like old Williamsburg, right? And you see how they did things back then. You can understand a little bit about what was happening there. So it's not just a game. You know, it's a whole experience. So.
Yeah, if I was going to build like a balanced game, it would not be this. But
yeah,
this is definitely 100%. It's the exploration of the hobby type.
Right,
of
right.
All right, Kate, about the time. Yeah, and that's really why I built the sand table. Why I got the idea, really going to Gary Con and playing in the Legends of Wargaming games that Paul Stormberg puts on.
Mm-hmm.
He has a lot of the he does a lot of the estate sales and what's it called, archiving, I guess, or whatever he does with a lot of the guys in the beginning of the hobby. He has a ton of Gary Gygax's old marks and Elastigirl miniatures.
Oh, wow. Oh, really?
Yeah. So I played, like, there's a scenario that Gary wrote for Chainmail. It might have even been before the historical supplements were, the fantasy supplements were, of Vikings versus Normans, and I played that like a bunch of times on a replica sand table.
Wow.
I played in Gary's house.
No kidding.
Yeah. So he does a lot of that kind of stuff, and he calls it Legends of Wargaming. It's all these various tracks that are like exploring the origin of the hobby.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
I've always been interested in.
Are you on? Griffith joined.
We get somebody.
Howdy.
Hey, how are you? Nice to meet you.
Yeah, sorry, I don't have a webcam, and I wanted to get one, but because of COVID, no stores had them. I tried to get one, couldn't find a store anywhere in Denver. I could have ordered one, I guess, but you know how it is. I guess I just hate to give Bezos extra cash. But I'm here.
Yeah. Awesome.
Are we?
Waiting for one of the closest guys.
Okay. How are we going to do this? I saw the forces listed. Is that for a player, or is that like the forces of law, like the two players that are playing?
Yeah. So you'll share that with Walt, who's not here yet.
Okay.
But yeah, so you guys will be able to divide up who's giving orders to who. I did it before where I did it player by player, but then if one person doesn't show up, you're like, screwed. Yeah, I love that, by the way.
Thanks.
Yeah, excellent.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of running around vetting things because most of the research out there has a lot of problems with it, so we had to kind of do our own and reconstruct all the research. And Paul was just, I'll shut up about the history stuff because I can get going, but
yeah,
Paul was incredibly useful.
Paul's great, and I'm glad you did that because it was just, like you said, there just wasn't a lot that you could do, and I had gotten snippets because I've been going to Gary Con for like 7 years, and I got to be friendly. I'm always in the Legends room. It's all I do. I help Paul and Kevin set stuff up. And
we probably have met there. I probably run across you because I hang out there with like a little scotch in my hand and wander around and kibitz.
Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't. We probably have chatted here and there, but like, I got to like I rub elbows with Dave Magery all the time and Ross Maker, and I played a ton of games with Bill Hoyt, like Tractics. He really likes Tractics. So we played on the same team there a couple times. And so I've gotten like snippets, from that little things, but that was great to see it all put together. John, Paul, if you guys don't know, Griffith made a documentary on the Blackmore group, which was like Dave Arneson's group.
Oh yeah, really?
The Aerie Step to Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's called Secrets of Blackmore. You can look at it on Vimeo. It's cheap. It's $4.
Yeah.
2 hours and 14 minutes of stuff. So, and it took like 6.5 years to make.
Holy cow. Well, that's awesome. I'm glad that we're preserving that history and gathering that stuff.
Yeah, I'm totally excited you're running this game. By the way, it's just it's hard to find people that are the old school RPGers that play. I call it the trifecta. They'll play computer games, they'll play war games, and they'll play RPGs. Most of the new RPGers just want to get their like RPG high, and I think that without wargaming and all the other things, they tend to be bad gamers. They're not even really good RPGers, and I don't know. It's just a different way of doing things that it's not my thing.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I definitely try and I came into the well. Actually, you guys see my dad back here. He's my helper today.
Oh, hey, I'm